Are you looking to take your personal finances to the next level? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Monday Money Tip Podcast, presented by I Was Broke, Now I'm Not, with your host, Joseph Sangle.
Well, welcome to the Monday Money Tip Podcast, presented by I Was Broke, Now I'm Not. My name is Joseph Sangle, fired up to help you in your money journey. As we do with every single Monday, we like to help you with right now relevant information to help you get your money righter. And did you like that? And so that voice that you heard a little bit, and that weird person looking at me, the weird look from the very nice person.
I was about to say, excuse me.
That you're seeing on YouTube if you're watching, is my co-host Megan Hibbard. How are you doing on this fine Monday?
I'm good. It's the beginning of November.
Yes.
Halloween
was on Sunday.
It's just always kind of crazy to me. But we can move past that, and we can start thinking about Thanksgiving briefly and Christmas.
And we're talking about right now relevant information. This, you can't be getting more righter now or relevanter than this right here. Tell everybody what the question is that we're going to address today.
Yeah, so we're talking about preparing your Christmas budget. So our question is, any tips to avoid serious overspending at Christmas?
Lots of tips. We have lots of tips, and we're going to help you with that. That's very relevant. In fact, we are 55 days away from Christmas. That's your reminder. That's the double nickel. The double nickel. 55 days. And it's very exciting to talk about. I like Christmas. It's a lot of fun. I like to visit all the family, and we travel a lot during Christmas. I think a lot of people do that. Before we do that, we're going to talk about my favorite section of the podcast. You know what that is. Let's go.
Now it's time to get caught up with our current money events.
The Monday Money Tip Podcast is sponsored by the Fully Funded Life Membership Program. The Fully Funded Life Membership Program provides all you need to begin winning with money and live a fully funded life. Fully Funded Life includes 4 key components: courses, challenges, coaching, and community. Courses provide financial education. Challenges help you make massive progress in a specific money skill. Coaching is provided by the Fully Funded Life Certified Coaches through open office hours held multiple times each month. All of the courses, challenges, and coaching results in an outstanding community that help equip, motivate, and encourage you to take your next financial steps toward your fully funded life. Fully Funded Life, courses, challenges, coaching, community. All that's missing is you. Learn more and receive a special offer for Monday Money Tip listeners today at fullyfunded.life/MMT. That's www.fullyfunded.life/MMT.
All right, for today's current money events section, we are talking about Christmas is 55 days away, the double nickel.
You should have done a Christmas theme.
Yeah, the Christmas theme. We should have Christmas music.
Oh, that would make me so happy.
Should I play some Christmas music? Should we?
Yes.
We should film me playing a Christmas song on the piano.
At your house?
At my house.
Yeah.
And put it in this podcast. We're going to do it.
Hey, we're going to go viral.
If you don't hear it, it means it went really badly. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to film me playing a Christmas song, and we'll see if everybody likes it. So maybe people don't know that I play Christmas. I play piano, and I'm going to play Christmas songs.
You do very well. You're good.
I like playing it. And so we're going to play a Christmas song for you, and it's going to play in the background while I give this tip. Because what I'm really wanting to say in this current money events section, and I'm probably going to play something about Santa Claus is coming to town or something. But we're going to talk about, Christmas is a special day. But preparing for all the special days in advance helps ensure that the magical moments remain just that, magical, instead of other words that we've used to describe those days, like frazzled, anxious, frustrated. We can add agitated. What are some other words that you've seen people or should be using for those days when they've lost the magic?
I think people are just like rushed.
Exhausted?
Yeah, like they just like... They're just not happy. They're just like, they're angry and they feel like they need to get somewhere and they feel like they're like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's like all about them.
It's terrible.
Newsflash. It's not.
No, it's not. That's awesome. So I really do want to remind everybody, you can prepare right now. Like, stop the podcast and get on Amazon and buy the things you plan for. And we're going to help you plan for those things. So don't stop the podcast. If they did, they're not going to hear this.
At the end
of this. And we're going to help you be able to prepare a Christmas budget and plan for Christmas so you don't overspend. But you could stop right now and buy some stuff right now, the gifts that you plan for. Make sure you get the best deal for them, get them delivered way early, and have this thing all done before you even got to Thanksgiving. Imagine what Christmas would be like if you had all your gifts bought before Thanksgiving. Woo! Mm-hmm. You could watch all the football or watch all the Hallmark movies without being frazzled. They would be all magical, and the guitar music will play.
You know what's going to happen at the beginning, but you still watch it. And it still sucks
Who's
you in.
you?
Well, like with the Hallmark movies.
Yeah, the people who watch them. Because it ain't going to be me.
I watch them.
Get fired up.
I think.
All right. If I do, it's because I'm trying to be that good husband to Jen Single. Get fired up.
There you go.
And I'll try not to comment again on how the acoustic guitar music has started once again. Oh, anyhow, they are awesome and they're very magical. And the videography is fantastic. Awesome. All right, so that's it for today's current money events section. 55 days away. Prepare in advance so you don't have frazzled. You have magical. The end.
Perfect. Okay. All right, our success story today is from Charles, and he wrote in to say, I have full control of my finances, and I have helped others get control of theirs. Your course is excellent.
I like this. This is short and sweet from Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Charles, man, he's in charge of his finances. You can just hear the confidence in the way he wrote it. And he has helped others get control of theirs. I don't know who these others are. I'd like to know. Was it friends? Was it his adult grown children?
Let's meet said others.
Yeah, it said others. But the course is excellent. That's very kind words. Thank you for sharing that, Charles. Way to go.
Okay. So now to the part everyone wants to know about. So any tips to avoid serious overspending at Christmas?
Yes.
We have them.
We have some tips. And there's several tips. We're going to share 3 of them today. But really, there's sub-tips to the sub-tips. So, we're going to have fun with this. So go with number 1.
All right.
What's the first of the 3 big tips?
Number 1 is prepare a Christmas budget.
Right. If you want to avoid serious overspending, have a budget, period. So the federal government, Megan, overspends, B, underspends, C, spends exactly what they bring in.
Overspends.
A, overspends.
Ding, 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 ding.
Do they, okay, there's another question. The federal government, A, overspends a huge amount. B, overspends just a little. C, you were wrong on question 1.
A.
They overspend by like a lot.
Ding, ding, ding.
They spend like, you got sound effects going on now. Ding, ding, ding. They spend 50 cents more than was brought in, like $1.50 for every dollar, roughly. How long can that happen before it becomes a runaway disaster? So we've went from $6 trillion of debt in 2006-ish to, about 30 trillion now. Get fired up. That's unbelievable. And here's the issue. A budget and following the budget matters a lot. And so preparing a Christmas budget does the exact same for your personal Christmas. If you want to make sure that you avoid serious overspending for Christmas, prepare a Christmas budget. And we know where one is available for free.
We do.
Tell them.
Yes. So you can use a mini budget, and it's available at our website at iwbnan.com. And we'll include a link in the show notes.
Yes. And if you're watching on YouTube, just look in the description below and you'll be able to click it right there. And with the mini budget, it's very, very important. You can Google this on Joseph Sengel mini budget, or I was broke, now I'm not mini budget. I think we've done an episode on the mini budget before. But the mini budget allows you to not have all this other stuff in there that is for typical monthly budget. It doesn't have mortgage. It doesn't have all those things in there. Instead, it's simple. And the way it works is you put every name and every entity that you're going to spend money on for Christmas. Gift for the teachers at preschool or at school. It's Christmas cards, stamps if you're sending cards like it's 1980. It's things like a Christmas tree. It's the people you're going to buy gifts for, money that you're going to give to different organizations. And you put all those names in that list. And then you put dollar amounts next to it. Isn't this amazing?
Amazing.
And you put names in dollars. And then you add them up.
Well, it does it for you.
Oh, that it does. It's almost like this tool was created for this.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the tool will add the math up for you?
It will.
And let's say you put in all these names. So, if you're like my family, there's a lot of single brothers. There's 5 of them. So I like to buy a gift for them, but only if I find something meaningful. We kind of have this rule. If we find something we're excited about, we put it in the budget. So I always put money in the budget, but I don't always buy them something. It's just the way it works. One year I bought them all Purdue sweatshirts because I felt like they all needed one, even though they root for the arch rival Indiana Hoosiers. But my twin did not buy that for them, even though he went to Indiana. And so guess which sweatshirt they were wearing? The team they didn't even like.
That's funny.
I love that. That was awesome. Another brother, he found, we have this gravy boat, I guess you would call it. It's a pig. And you hold his curly tail, and he kind of like, it comes out of his mouth. And you put taco sauce in it. You put gravy in it. It's really neat. It's really weird,
Yeah,
but it's also very neat.
Why
we all
is it a
grew up
pig?
with it as a kid. Mom would put the special homemade taco sauce in it, and there was one blue pig, and my dad would always say, this is really weird.
This is
he
weird.
would say,
I like
pass the hog's blood, and it would pour out red taco sauce. And I know this podcast is off the rails.
This has gone downhill fast.
But anyhow, it turns out he's from Iowa and Minnesota area. And my brother got on eBay one day and found people selling these things. And guess what? He found one for every single one of us because there's only one. And there's 6 boys. And we all have these fond memories of the pig gravy boat. And we're being laughed at by our production staff right now.
We are.
But
You are
here's
being
what
laughed
I will
at.
say. And I do believe I'm being laughed at, not with me. But anyhow,
I think you're laughing
he
too.
found every single one of them was from the center of Iowa and Minnesota. And so we all got one at Christmas. It was awesome. Isn't that awesome?
That's very thoughtful.
And so it was a very thought-filled gift. And so we put these line items in the budget, every single person's name, every single thing, and put a money amount next to it. Now listen, you shouldn't just add it up and say, that's how much I'm going to spend for Christmas. That is one way to do it. But the other way is to, at the top of the budget, it says, how much do you have budgeted for Christmas? And we teach everybody that Christmas happens every year on December 25th.
It does.
We do, right? And so you should save money every month for Christmas. So you should know how much you have budgeted. So whether it's $1,000 or $5,000 or $50, whatever your budget is, put the line item up there, put the amount, and put the thing you want to buy for them or you're thinking about buying. And if the amount, what do you do if the amount that you put next to every person's name adds up to more than you budgeted?
I think you should go back and change it so that it adds up to how
Which
much
should
money
you
you
change?
have.
The amount you budgeted
No.
or the amount you're going to spend?
The amount you're going to spend.
Okay, so I wanted to set Megan up for that because she's a natural saver. So she's not going to spend more than she budgeted. Now, I'm a natural spender, so part of me says, oh, I don't want to take away from this gift I want to buy the person. So I try to figure out how to get more money in my budget to fund it. Does that make sense? And ideally, you do a little both, but whichever one it is it works. That income minus outgo has to equal what?
Exactly 0.
Trademark. So make the budget work. And whichever way you do it, you choose to contribute more money towards your Christmas fund, or you choose to reduce how much you spend on each person. Maybe you find a better deal. Maybe you find the thing, on eBay and get it cheaper. The little pig. Maybe we should have a little picture of the pig in the podcast. Should we do that in YouTube?
Sure.
I'll send a picture of the pig. It's awesome. And it's great. And then once you've prepared this Christmas budget, what do?
Yes. So number 2 is have a conversation.
You have a conversation. This is very important. Now this is very important for those who have large families. Would you call your family large, medium, or small sized?
Am I like immediate family?
Yeah.
Medium.
Medium.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people have smaller families. Some people have very large families. And what's crazy is they will let other people in their family dictate their actions. And so, too many people purchase Christmas gifts, expensive ones even, only because they're unwilling to have an uncomfortable conversation. They have a whole bunch of family members who are buying them gifts, so they feel obligated to buy them gifts. And they're all grown people, and they're in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And, I like to say it this way. What used to make sense 10 years ago, hey, that may not make any sense anymore. So if you're just starting out your journey to your fully funded life and you're down here at rung 1 of the ladder and you don't even have your monthly 1 month's worth of expenses saved up for rung 2, does it really make sense to go put a bunch of Christmas gifts on a credit card?
No.
So what should you do? Have a conversation.
Yeah.
So how help us, Megan, how should they have the conversation? What would be a good way to have the conversation? Should you have it right at Christmas?
Probably not.
Okay, when would be a good time to have the conversation?
Maybe at Thanksgiving.
Maybe at Thanksgiving.
When you're being thankful for all the things that you do have.
Listen, I am so thankful for you. You are so awesome. Megan, you guys, you and Jordan, you mean so much to us. But listen, it's been challenging. And we're on this fully funded life ladder. And we're just getting started out here. And I just want to let you know, in lieu of Christmas gifts this year, we're going to exchange glances or something, you know. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
But you can have this conversation, and it doesn't have to be fraught with peril. Just say, look, we've made a decision as a family because we have so many other things that we're going to limit how much money we spend on Christmas this year. Mm-hmm. And so please, please, please don't feel obligated to get us a gift.
Yeah.
We've just chosen, we're going to buy gifts for our kids this year.
Yeah.
You know, and have that conversation. And look, that allows them to make a decision of their own moving. But do you feel like that's kind? Do you feel like it's helpful?
Definitely. Like, so my extended family, it just started to get too big and there was too many gifts to buy. And like when Jordan and I got married, we were a newly married couple. You just can't afford gifts for everybody. You know, like you're buying gifts for your cousin's kids. And I'm like, we just can't do this. So we had to have the conversation. And like, luckily our whole family was we were all at the point where we're like, it's kind of all getting a little bit big. Like maybe we just buy gifts for our immediate family. And then if everybody else wants to buy gifts for somebody, go for it, but you're not obligated to. Or another option is all of the cousins, we draw a name. So you have one cousin that you're responsible for buying a gift for and not like 10, you know?
Yeah. So that's how we've done it is we've set rules in our family that we're going to buy a gift that any nephew or niece that is under 18 or is still in college is eligible for a gift. And so however many kids you have that are eligible, that's how many gifts you end up buying. So everybody's names go in a hat and you draw those names. And on my wife's side, she's one of 6 grown children. And so we all choose one other's name. So my bride chooses somebody's name and we buy them a gift. And so not everybody has an expectation for a gift. And it really reduced the number of gifts you're buying. It actually made it fun because it's like, hey, I get to focus on that one person's gift. And so I just want to tell everybody in the podcast audience, you're not required to buy a gift for everybody and their brother and their mother. Like, please hear this. I can't tell you how many people buy gifts for people that literally those gifts get tossed.
It's true.
And they mean nothing to them and you stressed out over them. So have the difficult conversation. Megan has offered Thanksgiving is a great time. That's a great time to have the conversation while they're being grateful.
Yes.
And then, so you prepared a budget. You've had these conversations so that they know they're not getting a gift. Okay? What's the final thing you should do?
Yes. So number 3 is track your spending.
Right. So you've prepared a budget. So it's helpful to track your spending just like you would in a normal budget. Track your spending. And one of the things that I'm worried about is when the moment happens. You know, the moment happens. And what is the moment? The moment is you see this thing and, oh, that would be perfect for this person. I know it's 3 times what I planned, but it would be perfect. And you allow that moment to derail the whole thing. And we constantly talk about how moments cause people to just go into the ditch financially.
Yeah.
And we allow moments, let's name them, anniversaries, kids' birthdays,
Valentine's
vacations, Valentine's Day. Apparently, Megan, would you like to share some feelings about this?
I just think a lot of people go way crazy at Valentine's Day.
That's right, they do. And I love how you shared that with such energy.
I mean, your girl likes flowers, and I like a nice meal, and I like things like that. But, I mean, you just need to rein that back in.
Yeah, that's nice.
But not Jordan. He's doing good.
Not Jordan.
Yeah.
That's great. I like it. Jordan, if you're listening, listen. And so you need to track your spending against each person or organization. And this is, how do you do this when you're out traveling and doing Black Friday shopping? Well, hopefully you're done ahead of time before that, but you can have a Google Drive document, right? You can put the amount you actually spent. And if you go over from one person, that's got to come out of somebody else's.
That's right.
Right? And so that's really important to have that decision point, because it helps make sure that this, again, we want Christmas to be this joy-filled, magical time of year where all the cares of the world kind of go to the side for a little bit. We have the experience of thinking through all the wonderful Christmases we've had in the past. We remember with fondness those who've went on. And then we think about what the future is, and we get to see it through the eyes of children. It's awesome. And tracking your spending and doing all that work, the non-fun financial stuff ahead of time, allows all that to be behind you so that when you show up in the moment, you can just enjoy the moment. And so that's what I really encourage you to do, is to prepare a Christmas budget, have those challenging conversations that way ahead of time, and then track your spending as you go along. And as a result, you will have prepared your Christmas budget, and you will have answered the question, how do you avoid serious overspending at Christmas? Let's give a couple extra tips. Use cash envelopes. If you use Amazon, any money that you spent on the credit card, take that money out of the envelope and send it right back over to your bank account. Put it in an envelope called Back to the Bank. Use your debit card with Amazon. That's one way to make sure you spend money that you've planned as well. Another way is to make sure that as you put together this plan for Christmas, you leave a little buffer in there saying you leave room for the impulsiveness. Hey, maybe it's 10% of the budget. You had a budget for $1,000, put an extra $100 in there for the impulsiveness.
Yeah. And I think next year when you do it, it'll be easier because you already have this budget. You can go back and look at, tweak it from things that you forgot last year that you maybe not, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot, I need to put that in there. We'll add it to the budget this year. And then next year you'll already have it in there. So you already know, oh yeah, you can't forget about that thing we need to buy.
And I will tell you one other thing, and these are just ideas for those of you who have multiple siblings. One of the things I did is I did a gift that was a gift of my time to my brothers last year. It was actually 2 years ago. And what I did is we have all the family photo albums. And I sat and I took high quality scans, digital scans of every single one of them. And then I cut every single picture and created a memory book, a hardback memory book of every single photo in mom and dad's photo albums.
Oh, wow.
And that took me absolutely forever. I bet you I invested 70 hours of my time in it. And I said, hey, and then I had one printed. It cost me $130 to have it printed. I mean, it is a bunch of pages. Hardback, beautiful. And it has a picture of my mom and dad on their wedding day in the front, and then them walking out on the back of the wedding. It was beautiful. And then I told my brothers, hey, I've put this together. I spent 70 hours putting it together. If you want one, you can log into my account and order one right now with your money. Every one of them did it at that moment. They love it. And so I would just encourage you to think about being creative with your ideas. And if you don't have the money, you can give the gift of time. And that, it matters a lot too. So think about that. And the quote for today is what?
Yes. Remember the reason for the season.
Right. The reason for the season is not necessarily buying a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So remember the Christ that is in Christmas, and make sure you do that. And one way to make sure of that, hey, not have the financial stress accompanying it. So tell everybody what we're going to talk about with next episode.
Yes. So next episode, we're talking about hand off the finances kit.
So it's going to be a non-inspiring episode. Yeah. We like to have inspiring episodes, but listen, one day we all get to exit. We have an exit ramp from this life, and all of our stuff, our money stuff, gets handed to somebody. For those you love, it would be very helpful if they had that file that had your passwords, that had your accounts, that had your contact information, your will, your estate plan, your maybe letters you've written to those that you love as your last act of love as you exit this earth. And so we're going to talk about that non-inspiring but wildly important stuff of handing off the finances and having a kit put together for that. I think people are going to find it very helpful, if not inspiring.
Yes. And if you like today's episode, you could help us get this podcast to others who could benefit. You could do this by quickly rating our podcast and leaving a review. And these ratings and review will help our podcast help us get better for others that want to listen as well. So, and if you've implemented one of our tips, make sure to share your success, and you can email it to us at info@iwbnin.com.
Awesome. You can also click the like button on Facebook if you watch it here. If you watch on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Click the bell if you want to be notified when each and every Monday episode comes out. Monday Money Tip. We want to be right now relevant for you. So, hey, prepare that budget. Put some time on your calendar right now to prepare it, maybe even tonight. Get agreement with your spouse. That's very important. And then if you're married, and then move forward, track your spending, have those difficult conversations, and I think you will have the best Christmas ever. Awesome. Get fired up.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Monday Money Tip Podcast, presented by I Was Broke, Now I'm Not. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review and subscribe. And for more great content and to stay up to date, visit iwbnin.com. We'll catch you next time.